everyone, and thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do. It is going to be my first collab video of Vlogmas. What? I am so excited to be sitting down to film the new makeup releases tag video in collaboration as I throw hair onto my lips. This is a collab video with Angelica Nyqvist. We have done this a few times in the past. We are teaming up once again to take on the new makeup releases tag. We have a few questions that we are going to be answering looking back on the entire year of 2021, all the new makeup releases that came out. We're going to be talking about the hits, the misses, and everything in between. I will link Angelica's video and her channel down below. If you are not familiar with her, well, you should be. I'm also really excited because Angie did just announce that she is moving from Sweden to the US, and that is going to include a little trip to Vegas to see me, and we get to meet in person again. I'm so excited about this. I have been a friend of Angie's for so long. We've been able to meet in person in the past, and now that she's going to be in the US, I'm hoping that we can see each other some more after she makes her move here. But she has such a wonderful YouTube channel. I think if you like my style of videos, you would like hers. We both really like to chat about makeup, but she's also really great at putting together makeup looks. So I don't do a lot of tutorials and that sort of thing over here. And Angie and I definitely have very different styles when it comes to our makeup. She's definitely much more colorful. I am much more neutral, but she has some great tutorial videos over there also. She can offer a different perspective for me, which I love to hear. I really like to watch her new makeup releases because, again, like I said, we have very different taste in makeup. So it's just fun to get her side of things and my side of things. And I don't know, I love Angie. We've been such good friends for such a long time. I was literally just listening to a Marco Polo from her this morning, and I'm really excited to be doing this collab video with her. So please, if you have not yet checked out her channel, make sure you do so. Angie, thank you so much for collabing with me. I heard you say in your polo today that when you come to Vegas, you're gonna do my makeup and you're gonna make it colorful, and I'm gonna be ready for that, girlfriend. All right, so that is it for the intro. This is the new makeup releases tag. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so before we jump into it, if you are coming from Angie's channel, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Samantha. I'm clearly very excited to be doing this video, and I hope you're not playing a drinking game on how many times I have said excited. You might think I'm playing a drinking game, but I promise you I'm not. I just have my water with me right here. But in my videos, I do start off with an OOTD. I started this when I moved from Iowa to Vegas because I definitely felt like I was able to come more into my style more, my fashion more. So I started showing an outfit of the day, and then it just kind of stuck and people seemed to enjoy it, and I enjoy it. So today's outfit of the day, I just have on some pleather pants from Express, my slippers as always, and then this green top. I'm feeling kind of festive. I'm filming the day before December 1st. I just filmed my first Vlogmas video of December, which is a Will I Buy It, since the December 1st was on a Wednesday. I always post my Will I Buy It's on a Wednesday. It's kind of how the series started, as a Will I Buy It Wednesday. When I started the Will I Buy It series, I had no idea it would turn into an actual thing on YouTube. I started it probably 5 years ago, and it was just a way for me to be able to talk about new makeup releases without feeling the pressure to buy everything. The anti-haul videos were already out there, but I also didn't really love doing the anti-hauls because it felt like I had to be negative when I approached those videos. And of course, looking back now, I see that I didn't have to be negative, but it just seemed like at the time that's why people really loved the anti-hauls and the big X's and the thumbnails and like the faces and all of the things. And that's just not really me. It's just not really my personality. And so I felt pretty uncomfortable every time I did an anti-haul. And so I was like, what can I do? Because I can't afford to buy all the new makeup. I'm not on a ton of PR lists, so I can't show all of the new makeup, but I still want to talk about it. And that's just how the Will I Buy It was born, and people seemed to enjoy it. And then all of a sudden more creators started doing it, and it really just took off from there. A couple years ago, I created the community playlist for the Will I Buy It series. So any creator who makes a style of video, I send them a link and then they can add theirs to that playlist. And every once in a while, I just turn on the playlist and I watch a bunch of different people. Because like I said, you know, when I mentioned Angie and her different perspective, I think that's fun. I'm not someone who thinks we all need to like the same things and want to look the same and wear our makeup the same and wear the same shades and all of that. I like... My dog has the zoomies. My dog has the zoomies. Oh good, perfect timing. All right, now I'm sweating a little because I just played with my dog for a bit because she got the zoomies, so we had to play a little catch and run back and forth. So if you don't know, I have a dog. Her name is Aries. She's my best friend. She's a Vizsla, and I love her. And when she needs attention, I need to give it to her. So I've been doing a lot of filming, a lot of editing for Vlogmas, just a lot of work in general. So you know what? When she needs attention, she needs attention. But I believe I was saying that I like to see everyone's different thoughts on things. And a lot of times I get, you know, it sparks a different idea or just makes me think differently. So I love the community playlist for that reason. But yeah, that's kind of how the Will I Buy It series started. And Angie was actually one of the first creators that I saw that kind of consistently did this video too. And it was funny because I remember getting tags from people and they were like, this girl from Sweden is doing your video idea, and like she's crediting you, but like she's doing your video idea. And people were saying it in kind of like a, why would she do that way? And I was like, oh, cool. Like I thought that was the neatest thing, that someone took an idea that I had and thought it was such a good idea that they did it too. I thought that was so neat. So that was how Angie and I really started chatting with one another on YouTube, and now here we are. Let's hop into the questions. Let me grab my notebook here. Very official notebook. All right, question number 1. I will put these all down below. If you want to do the tag video, please do it. Please tag me and Angie. I know we would love to watch your videos. Question number 1. What is a mainstream release that lived up to the hype? I do not just have one answer for any of these questions, right? Any of them? I don't think I have one answer for any of these. So a few mainstream releases that lived up to the hype. One of the first products that I thought of is this eyeshadow palette from Patrick Ta. This is the Major Dimension palette. So this is one, when it came out, a lot of people were going crazy for it, and I was like, okay, like I kind of want it, but I'm not sure. It's $68, it's pretty expensive, I'm not sure. And then, you know, people got it and were buying it and were raving about it, and I was like, I still don't know if I want to spend $68 on it. Then I did it anyways. And I was like, you know what? I really hope I don't regret this. But you know what? I really don't regret this. I really, really enjoyed this eyeshadow palette. You have the 2 cream shades, you have mattes, shimmers, some of these really beautiful topper shades. It was an expensive palette. I didn't even get it on sale, which normally more expensive products, I do like to wait for some sort of Sephora discount. But I paid full price for it. But you know what? I'm still really happy with it, and I use it a lot. And then also I grabbed 2 palettes. This is, I don't have just palettes for all of these questions, but for this particular one I did. But also I grabbed out Natasha Denona palettes. I feel like Natasha Denona palettes definitely get a lot of hype. Whenever I see a new release coming out, I know a lot of my followers understand that I really do enjoy Natasha Denona, so I get a lot of tags. But I feel like just in general, it gets shared a lot. I see people resharing on their stories. People get excited for the palettes, and I really am very rarely let down by Natasha Denona. When she came out with the retro palette, I was like, yeah. I'm gonna get this one. I ended up getting this in PR. It was my first ever PR from Natasha Denona. I got to do a sponsored post on Instagram with her, which I was like totally floored about, but I just, I mean, I would have bought it anyways, but this is one of my favorite palettes. I think that it's so gorgeous. And then most recently, I bought the Glam Face and Eye palette, and this palette is so dirty. I have used this so much. You have a cream blush, which is why there is the plastic protector here. I'm gonna stick my nails in shadow. Then you also have a highlight and then the eyeshadow shades. This is so beautiful. One of her newer releases, but I don't know, Natasha Denona, I feel like really does live up to the hype. Next up is what is an indie release that lived up to the hype also. So I got to try M Cosmetics for the first time in 2021. I tried out the cushion, the like tinted SPF, also a lip liner, but the product that really stood out to me was the So Soft blush. I got the shade in Venetian Rose, and this is a cream blush stick. This is such a beautiful product. I also mentioned this one recently. Can I get this off? I also mentioned this recently in a video on my like top favorite products not found at Sephora, because when the Sephora holiday savings event was going on, you know, I did my wish list, I did recommendations, I did a haul, I did a try on haul, I did a second haul. So I had a lot going on with Sephora, so I wanted to do that video and kind of spotlight either drugstore affordable items, indie items, you know, products found at Ulta Beauty, that sort of thing. But this M Cosmetics blush is just, it really stole the show for me. Like I said, it was my first time trying M Cosmetics, and there was a lot from the brand that really intrigued me. They don't have a full line. I really like the packaging. Again, this blush was really a standout to me. I'm really glad that I purchased it, and I find myself wearing it so much. The shade is beautiful. It's so easy to blend out. Blends easily over powder. I think that it's a great product. And then going back to another eyeshadow palette, again, I've talked about this one recently. It was in that top products not at Sephora, but from Glamlite, this is the Dirty Martini palette. I think this is the first eyeshadow palette and maybe the first product from Glamlite that I tried. They are another indie brand and you can find them on their website. But this palette really, really blew me away. I do enjoy greens. In the past like 2 years or so here, I really got into green eyeshadow, and when I saw this come out, I was like, you know what, I have to buy that. That is so beautiful, and I think that it's a great palette. Some of these shimmer shades are just so stunning. The mattes are so easy to blend. I feel like I've talked about this palette so much on my channel recently, but it's just, I think it's fabulous. The next question is, what are some releases that did not live up to the hype? And when I was going back through my videos, I just went back and looked at all of my old Will I Buy It videos, was looking at everything that came out. This was in my first Will I Buy It video of 2021. I don't know if I was gonna say 2020, 2022, I don't know what I was gonna say, but my first Will I Buy It of 2021, I mentioned this release and I was so excited about it. And I just really don't feel like they lived up to the hype. These are from Colourpop, and these are their Lovestruck palettes. So at the beginning of the year, do you remember? Because it feels, in some ways, the beginning of 2021 feels like 5 years ago, and it also feels like 5 days ago. It's like the longest, fastest year ever. But when these came out, I was really excited about it. I felt like a lot of people were really excited about it. I was getting a ton of questions of if I was going to review them. I was planning to buy, they launched with 5 different palettes. I just grabbed 2 here just to be fancy and show you. But I was planning to buy all 5 of them, and I was so excited. I ended up getting them in PR, and I was like, yes. And it was one of those where I got the box and I was like, I'm making content right now. And that doesn't always happen. There's a few releases that I get really, really like that excited about. Took photos, close-up photos, did swatch videos, all the things, started doing looks with all of them, and I was like, not really as excited as I was hoping that I would be. And I feel like the Lovestruck palettes just haven't quite hit the mark with a lot of us, because they've came out with some other ones throughout the year too, and I don't know, it's like they're it's like they're fine, but there's just, I don't know. This one here in Lyric, this was one of my favorites, but a lot of them had a pressed glitter to it, or the matte with the really microfine like glitter shimmer to it, which is just not personally my favorite. And again, I'm not the end all be all, so I know people like different things, but for me, I was just kind of like, meh. I was a little bit let down by these, and I was really bummed about that, because I felt like they had a lot of hype, and I don't know, maybe it was just like that first release of the new year, and we were so excited to be turning the page to 2021 after 2020. I don't know what it was, but kind of felt a little let down by that. And then also for me personally, what missed the mark for me was this Melt Cosmetics sex foil. Again, this was another one that a lot of people seemed excited about it when it was announced. I, like so many of us, made fun of the name a little bit. But it was a liquid highlighter. Then I saw people reviewing it, and a lot of people had really good things to say, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna do it. It's a $38 liquid highlight, but I was like, why not? I'm more into liquid and cream products these days. Let's just give it a shot. I do not see the hype about this one. I got the shade in Stargazer, and I just very rarely use it. I've reviewed it quite a bit, or talked about it quite a bit on my channel, and I've had some people say that you like to, you know, put it on your collarbones and your shoulders, you know, kind of give you like a body glow that way, which I definitely will try to do that and see if I can get some more use out of it, but that was kind of a miss for me. And I don't try a lot from Melt Cosmetics. I know Angie really enjoys Melt Cosmetics. I have a lot of friends who really enjoy Melt because it's more their makeup aesthetic, more their makeup preferences. For me, that's not really what it is. And so it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, I want to try something from Melt and I want to like them. So I went on to the limb and I did the liquid highlighter, and I was like, oh, shoot. The next question is, what was the biggest curveball? I think for me, when I read this question, one of the first things that popped into my mind was Becca Cosmetics closing down. That was really surprising. After COVID, after quarantine, after closing the shops, after really a lot of business models having to switch after 2020 and what we all went through, I don't think there was a lot of surprise in we are going to see some businesses close and not be able to survive that. But to me, Becca Cosmetics did kind of surprise me. And I know they weren't as you know, top of the line as they were when I first started YouTube. You know, everybody was talking about the Becca highlighters, and every release that Becca came out, like the holiday releases, the Presky Glow, those sort of things, like people were so excited about it. I knew they hadn't quite reached that level for a couple of years, but I didn't think that was enough to really decimate an entire company and really take an entire company under. So it being Becca, because Becca to me was kind of like one of those staples. So I was pretty surprised about that, even though I understood, and I also could understand that COVID, you know, could in a way, and this is just me speculating, of course, and I think I said this in my Will I Buy It when I talked about it, but if a business was struggling or you weren't quite sure about something, you could kind of throw that card at it, like, well, we also couldn't survive during this time, and people would be a little bit more understanding of it. So I also kind of wondered about that. So we had the closing of Becca. A lot of people were really upset about it, and you know, there were some different sales that went on and people were buying up the products. And then we were also told a few months later that Smashbox Cosmetics was going to be kind of taking over some of Becca's products, like some of the highlights, and that was also very, like, that was a curveball I didn't see coming, and I was like, what? I still honestly don't really understand what that was about, but you know, there's that. But to me, that was definitely a curveball, was Becca Cosmetics closing. But I'm really curious to hear. I, of course, would love to have, you know, you to put anything in the comments with any of these questions. But another one that I thought of, a curveball, for me personally in 2021, I would say that would be my love for this brand named Dior. Wait for it, I'm not done. I'm not done. This brand named Dior. Yeah, no, I didn't see that coming. If you could see how dirty my sneakers are, no you can't. No, you didn't see that. I'm someone that I wear those sneakers all the time. I wear them at least once a week, okay? They have a lot of love in them. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure where my love of Dior came from. One of the first products that I purchased from them was the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. It's what I'm wearing today. I love this foundation. I have the shade 2.5N. I think it's great. I wear it all the time. I've talked about it for years. I love it. And then it was, I believe it was right before I moved. So I moved from Iowa to Vegas in like mid-April. And I had just, I want to say it was just before I moved, or it was either right after I got to Vegas. I purchased the Dior Powder No Powder, and I believe one of those Sephora sales, and I lost my mind over this. This is my third one. This is my third Dior Powder No Powder. I have it on today. I wear it all of the time. And then it just kind of escalated. My last Sephora haul, I had a Dior bronzer, a Dior highlighter, and then I also bought a Dior face palette, all in the same haul. Like, I clearly have a problem. I've also bought the Dior sneakers, which I, like aforementioned, absolutely love them, wear them all the time. And my first designer bag that I ever purchased was a Dior bag. That to me is a big curveball, okay? For those of you who might not know, if you're coming from Angie's channel and you haven't watched me before, I am currently going through a divorce. So, you know, life has been very different for me over the past year or so, going through a separation, going through divorce, going through a pretty significant move, and just significant life changes in general. And, you know, it is what it is. I try to find any little ways to be happy, to be positive, to mark special occasions and that sort of thing. And it's definitely been, it's been an interesting journey, that's for sure. And you know, I mentioned recently in a YouTube video that I was thinking about buying myself some Dior rings. They have really nice like gold Dior rings that I thought were really pretty, and one of my subscribers said I should do it to kind of signify being married to myself in this next chapter in my life and standing up for myself, and you know, being able to create a life that I love even after something as significant as heartbreak, as divorce, as someone, you know, I was with for 15 years. And I really loved that. And, you know, especially a lot of the more the shoes and the bag and the things that are a little bit more costly than the makeup, they really mean something to me. They really signify something to me. And not, you know, I know that might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's definitely something that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of what I've been able to accomplish, especially going through a divorce when no one knew what was happening behind the scenes. And then everything I was able to accomplish this year, even through a move. You know, I launched my own brand. I had 2 collabs come out in 2021, and just trying to do the best that I can and live my best life. So But my love of Dior, really, that was a big curveball for me personally. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I still am a little bit shook as to where that came from, but yeah, I just felt like I had to slide Dior into another video, okay? That's really what I'm doing. The next question is, what was the biggest letdown slash snooze fest? So once again, I'm going through my new makeup releases videos. I'm looking at everything. I wrote down a couple specific releases to chat about, but one thing that popped into my mind when I looked back over 2021, I don't feel like Fenty Beauty did much. And you might come at me, that's okay. I love Fenty Beauty. And Fenty, I feel like in 2020 or 2019 or just not that long ago, I felt like we were always really excited to see what Fenty was releasing next. And not everything was really my preference, not everything was right up my alley, but I still got excited to see what it was because I feel like the direction, the packaging, some of the products that came out, I was always excited to see what Fenty was going to launch. And then of course there would be a handful of products that I was like, yes, I have to get my hands on that one. I really did not feel that way in 2021 with Fenty Beauty, and I was very surprised because I felt like they were really on a roll there. But when I looked back and I was looking at the releases from Fenty, like, yes, they did have a few standalone products that they did launch, but a lot of it was, you know, more shades of a certain product or sets with different, like the different products that they already had were included in a set. I feel like Fenty didn't really have that kind of like pow type of moment that it was like, oh my gosh, we can't wait to pick this one up, or can you believe Fenty is doing this? I feel like when Fenty released, they released with such like a mic drop moment with, you know, all of the foundation shades and everything, and just once again, just the idea behind the brand. I felt like that was kind of a letdown. Very curious to hear your thoughts. Very curious to hear your thoughts. So I feel like that, I feel like that one might be a little bit controversial. But again, I love Fenty and I was excited about it. And I hope there's like, I hope 2020 there's gonna be like something awesome because I'm ready for it. Like, I'm excited about it. So let's go. But a couple of the other releases that I thought of, to me, was the Colourpop and Powerpuff Girl collection. I don't know, I was excited about this. I love the show. Once again, if you're not familiar with me, I get made fun of all the time because I know nothing about TV shows, movies. I'm much more of just a book reader. I'm always lost in a book. I don't watch TV a lot besides sports. Really don't watch movies a lot. So a lot of times when there's like these collaborations, I have no idea what's going on. And I actually knew that show and I was excited about it. And I felt like the release was just kind of meh. Like, with Colourpop, they come out with so much. Quite honestly, you could do this entire tag video just about Colourpop releases. You could answer every single question just about the Colourpop releases in one calendar year, for real, right? But that one to me, it was just a little bit of a letdown. And then also the Urban Decay, they came out with a Naked Cyber palette. Does anyone remember that one? And I was like, huh? Like, I felt like in 2020 and 2019, Urban Decay and their Naked palettes, they were doing some good things. The Naked Cherry, I mean, the Naked Reloaded is a favorite of mine. The Naked Ultraviolet, I felt like they really had some good ones coming out, and then they released this, and I was like, what? And then I heard nobody talk about it. And again, that's an exaggeration when I say that. I know there was probably some people that talked about it, but for me, I feel like I saw nobody talk about the Naked Cyber palette. Did anyone get that one? Next up is best holiday releases. This one kind of threw me through a loop a little bit. I was like, what has been released for the holiday? What have I been looking forward to or excited about? And honestly, one that came to mind was a holiday release that I did purchase for myself, and this is from Lawless Beauty, and this is the Glam 1 eyeshadow palette. So this is just an 8-pan palette. I picked it up in the latest Sephora sale. I thought Lawless, and you're gonna kind of see this from my answer on the few different brands I'm going to talk about. I liked this because they came out with the palette and they also came out with a mini lip gloss set, and I love the Lawless lip gloss. Their lip like line smoothing plumping gloss, I think it's fantastic. So they came out with some minis for that too, and then this palette, and I thought that was just really well done. I kind of like more of these smaller collections with just a few items in there. You can buy as bundles or sets, or if you just want to pick up the eyeshadow palette. I thought it was really well done, and I like the shades in here. I like that we have mattes. I like that we have a couple of the shimmers too. I like pinks, so I like that there was a pink in there where it was like holiday but without being just like red and green, because that's not like everybody's holiday, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I thought it was like glam and pretty and fun and like good for all holidays and New Year's and all the things. So I thought Lawless did a really good job on that. Also, Natasha Denona, I really liked what she did for holiday as well. And once again, I purchased the mini Metropolis palette that came out in the holiday set, and this also came with a double-ended brush. Once again, it was $25. I picked it up, I think I got this from Sephora, right? And I really liked the direction of this too. We have some green in there, but also some gold. I like this. I did just review this recently. Is that video up? I have a Sephora follow-up coming in, and I did say that, you know, this last shade here, it doesn't really do a lot for me. I wish this would have been something different, but these shades I think are really pretty. That like more emerald green is beautiful, this gold is beautiful. She also released a little 3-pan palette, which I thought was really beautiful as well. I mentioned the Glam Face and Eye palette. I really like that Natasha put out 2 different variations of that, a lighter one and a deeper one. I thought that was great. So I really like the way Natasha did holiday also. And then also Auric, and I wanted to mention Auric in this video too because that was really fun. I had initially put Auric as like biggest curveball, but I was like, I don't think that's exactly what I'm trying to say is like curveball with the brand. But I was really excited to see Sam Ravindal launch her own brand. I've been watching her on YouTube for such a long time. She's someone that I really look up to. She's definitely an inspiration to me as a businesswoman, and seeing her launch Auric I thought was such a cool thing. I really enjoyed how she's also done the launches. You can tell it's very thoughtful, and I like her behind the scenes when she does the videos where she talks about the brand, because once again, as someone who launched her own brand, I didn't launch makeup, but I launched more like stationery, planners, notepads, a deck of cards. There's so much that goes into it, and so much that I think gets overlooked if you don't really understand the business world, which is okay because, you know, we can't understand everything, right? But I think a lot of things can get overlooked or downplayed, and I think Sam's been really vocal of being like, you know, this is something that we ran into. This is a curveball we didn't see. This is something that doesn't get talked about. And I think that's a really important thing too, because it's super hard and it's super risky putting yourself out there and putting a business out there. If anything happens, I mean, it is risky to do something like that. So I just, you know, as a subscriber of hers, like I was really proud when I saw that. I was really proud of her, and I thought it was a really amazing thing that she did. But for her holiday releases, she came out with 2 new of the Smoke Reflex. So these are the eyeshadows that she released that has the cream base on one side and then also the metallic topper on the other. And I actually was going to purchase the 2 new shades that she came out with. One is red, one is green, and I was going to purchase those shades, and then I actually did get a notification from my ex-husband Mitch that they did get sent to my address in Iowa, so he has shipped them here and they should be arriving any day now. So I am so excited about that, because I had gotten PR from Auric in the past, but I hadn't heard anything from Mitch. He went out of town, so he was gone for a few days, which I didn't know. So I was just getting ready to place the order, and he was like, hey, I just came home and he had all these packages here. I was like, if the Auric's in there, I'm gonna be so excited. And it was. So they're on their way to me. Hopefully they arrive okay. But I'm really excited about that. But I really like that holiday release too. You know, we got 2 new of these products. I like that versus really overwhelming, really big releases. It kind of overwhelms me personally. So I really like the way that those 3 brands did their holiday releases. Next up, we have Best Collab of 2021. I mean, there was so many fantastic collabs that came out. Once again, I just tried to narrow it down to 3. But obviously, I wanted to mention Club Nebula. This was the collaboration with Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist. I was so excited. You know, I had a little inside scoop that this was going to be coming out, and I was so stoked about this. This is such a beautiful palette, so Angie, yet I can still use it too. I have worn this palette multiple times. The shimmers are just like on another level. The mattes are so easy to blend. Even some of these darker shades that when I looked at it, I was like, you can do this. And I'm looking at my blending brush and I'm looking at the palette and I'm trying to channel my inner Angie, and I'm like, you got this, girl. And they are so easy to blend out. To me, this is a palette, when I look at it, I instantly get intimidated, and once I start using it, I'm like, okay, never mind. I have no reason to be intimidated. She did such a fantastic job on this. It was so well received, so well loved. I was super proud of her. So happy to see this. She did a great job. And then just recently, I picked up another collaboration with one of my friends, one of my Vegas friends actually, and this is with Ootd's Eye and Annette's Makeup Corner. This is the Giant Wolves eyeshadow palette. So I do have membership options. Both Angie and I do have YouTube memberships here where you get exclusive content. I know Angie does an exclusive tutorial every month on her channel, which is fantastic, something she's so good at. For me, I just let my subscribers vote for what they want to see. Sometimes I've done live chats, sometimes I've done vlogs, like a day in my life. I've done palette bingos over there, and for the month of November they just wanted to see a chatty get ready with me, and I let them ask me a few questions and posted about a 41-minute get ready with me. But a lot of people requested that I use this palette that I just purchased from Ootd's Eye, so I have that one on my memberships if you're interested at all, or if you like a book club. So I also do a live chat every month, but every other month is a book club, and I have so much fun doing book club. So I'll leave that link down below if you want to see some of the different options that I have for memberships. But this palette is so fun. I was so excited when I saw Annette team up with Ootd's Eye. She lives in Vegas too. We've been able to get together for dinner and lunch multiple times, and she's so sweet. I just love hanging out with her. And when I saw this, I remember we were having lunch one day, or dinner, here where I live, and her eyeshadow looked so amazing, and I said, what is that? And she said, I have a collab coming out. And it was this palette. So I believe you're going to be seeing Annette's Makeup Corner does my makeup here in Vlogmas. We're going to be trying to get a collab put together for Vlogmas also, which I am so excited about, and I really want her to use this palette on me because I think that would be so fun. And then I did also want to take a minute to shout out myself. Like I mentioned, I did do 2 collabs in 2021. I was really proud of both of them. So in March with Ofra Cosmetics, I came out with some new products, but I also was able to come out with the Life's a Draft palette. This is my palette. This is a very messy palette. So much fun putting together this palette, and this palette is very personal to me, and I know that there were some things that happened earlier in the year and some things that I haven't been able to legally speak on, and I haven't talked about my collab as much, but we're nearing the end of the year, and I just wanted to take a moment to shout out this palette once again, because for me personally, this is something that I was incredibly proud of, and it's a palette that means a lot to me. The name is Life's a Draft, and I was designing this palette and putting this together and putting the names together and putting the shades together while going through a divorce, while going through one of the hardest times of my life. And this launched at the end of March. I went down to the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area for the launch with Ofra Cosmetics, and got back home, and 3 days later my moving truck came to move me out of my house. So no one knew that when I launched this palette, and it was so well received and people were so excited about it and I was so emotional about it, it was because I knew what was about to happen. And it might sound strange, but having that experience really gave me some more motivation to be able to go through with it. I talked about this a little bit more openly in my members video, but just of how long it took me to be able to stand up for myself and stand on my own 2 feet, and finally being able to leave my marriage and to leave a bad situation. And when I look at this palette, that's something that really signifies that time in my life for me, and I'm really proud of it. And all of the different shade names that I have, 09, Ram, Honors, Peace, such personal shade names to me. Maya's the name of my niece, Cherry 23, which I recently got tattooed on what would have been my wedding anniversary. Ink, just names that mean so much and signify a certain time in my life, and just the whole name, the whole concept in general of Life's a Draft. I'm really proud of this palette. I'm really proud of the work that I put into it. So I just wanted to share that. I was also able to come out with a favorite set with Sigma Beauty, which I was so excited about. Sigma is one of my favorite brands. They were the first brand that ever sent me PR. They were the first brand I ever had an affiliate code with. So to be able to get a collab with them was so exciting. So I put together a favorites bundle, which includes the Rosy palette and also 3 eyeshadows. It did sell out, but it is restocked now on the Sigma website. I am an affiliate with both Ofra and Sigma, and my codes are Samantha for both of those. But this was another one that I shared, you know, kind of a personal story of kind of feeling very confused on what to do and not sure, do I stay, do I go, how, if I go, how am I doing that, how am I going to make it work, and then getting the email from Sigma Beauty saying they wanted to do a collab. And Sigma had done collabs with so many people in the past, so many of my friends, so many other creators, and I just always kind of felt like, why not me? Why, like, you know, I've been an affiliate with them and I love this brand and I talk about them, like why aren't they noticing me? And it was because it wasn't my time then. It was my time when I needed it to be my time. When I was feeling so low and feeling so hopeless, to get that email from Sigma, once again, it just kind of sparked things in me and I thought, I can do this. I can be on my own. I can stand up for myself. I can do, like, I can do this. That was when I needed to get that email from Sigma saying that. So once again, that set to me is very, very personal and I'm really proud of it. So 2021 has definitely been a year. Like I mentioned, I launched my own brand. Also, I always have that link in the description box. There's a 90-day planner. There's multiple styles of notepads. There's a deck of healthy habits. It's a 52 card deck and each card has a different healthy habit to focus on. I usually draw a card twice a week and really focus on what that card says. But it has been a tumultuous year for me. This year started off horribly, crying every day, just not well. And I'm ending it on such a high note and I feel so positive and so grateful and so thankful to be ending the year on this way. So I wanted to mention my collabs and some of my friends also, and then we just have one more question and then we are done. All right, the final question is makeup predictions for 2022. Angie's really good at this. I'm not really great at makeup predictions, but I wanted to give it a shot. So what did I write down? I wrote down like lighter makeup, like a lighter base makeup. I feel like full coverage hasn't been as big of a thing as it was in years past. Skin tints really had their moment in 2021. And I think we're gonna continue to see light coverage, medium coverage, that sort of thing. For me, like a light to medium coverage foundation with spot concealing, that's perfect for me. That's what I enjoy. You know, being able to see skin, I feel like is a big thing. I feel like people aren't trying to hide as much anymore. I don't know if maybe like quarantine did that to us or masks or just not wearing makeup for so long, but I feel like lighter, more breathable type of base makeup will work. And I just, you know, like I said, I just filmed the Will I Buy It today and I saw Charlotte Tilbury's coming out with a light coverage radiant foundation for 2022 and I was like, that's what I wrote down as one of my predictions. So I don't know, we shall see. I also wrote down more gloss or lip oils versus the matte lips. So I still do like a matte lip. I definitely prefer like a matte bullet lip. I don't wear liquid lipsticks quite as much these days unless I'm going somewhere and I really want my lipstick to stay bulletproof all night. But like the Sigma lip oil, this really surprised me because I'm not really much of a lip oil girl. But when Sigma released these, I was like, these are actually really bomb. So I've been loving these. And like I said, lip glosses, you know, paired with a lip liner, I feel like that is gonna stay like on trend for a while. And then I put fluffy feathered brows. I don't know if it's just because like I'm still trying to get that down. I'm not the best at it, but I keep wanting to try to do it. And then I see photos and people have their fluffy brows and I'm like, how are you doing that? I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep, Angie does a really good job at that too. Kathleen Lights I think of a lot when I think of like fluffy feathered brows, but I feel like we'll see more kind of like natural-ish brows, I think is what I'm trying to say. Not so perfect, not so drawn in, not so like concealer, you know, cleaning everything up. Just kind of, once again, maybe this is what is left over as I'm sitting here saying this, kind of left over from maybe not wearing makeup as much every day or getting a little bit more laid back with our looks when we weren't going anywhere and we were just on our Zooms, and that's kind of, you know, crossing over into this time period also. But I don't know, those are my predictions for 2022. I'm sure we'll see more celebrity brands coming out. I'm sure that's not stopping anytime soon, but I would love to hear some of yours also. And after that, that is it. I feel like I talked for longer than I probably needed to, but I have so much fun doing this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really can't wait to see Angie's. Thank you so much, girlfriend, for letting me collab with you on this one again. I'm so excited for you to get to the US. It's gonna be excellent. I can't wait. Once again, if you are a creator and you wanna do this, the questions are in the description box. I would love if you would tag me so I can watch your video also, and add these to the Will I Buy It playlist. I feel like these make a great addition to that playlist. Other than that though, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.